Hey guys, it's Alissa from Planet Alissa here with this week's What I Sold on Etsy video. And I really feel like I'm just continuing this trend that's been going just about all month. I sold almost the same number of items that I have the past few weeks. I sold 11 items this week. I sold some lesser priced items this week. I didn't really have any big sales, so my total is definitely lower. I sold a total of $114 worth of items this week on Etsy. And I'll go through and show you what each of the different items are and how much they sold for. First item that sold this week was this vintage unused embroidery kit. It is a Victorian bathroom sort of scene. This sold for $16 and I picked this up at a thrift store. I have replenished my inventory of Souvenir Pennants. I picked this one up and the next one up at an auction, and both of these sold to the same buyer. This one sold for $12. It's from Martha's Vineyard. It has a cool illustrated design, although it did have quite a bit of wear on it. And then this one is just Cape Cod, and it sold for $15. Nice older vintage pennant. And this is just three small photography guides. One's actually a dial type guide. It sold for $7. This is something I picked up in a box lot at an auction, and you know, I debated just donating these somewhere, but I said, hey, they're kind of cool. Maybe I will list them on Etsy and see if they sell, and they did. And here's a really funky vintage suitcase with a rainbow stripe. It's like a canvas, probably made for a child case with cool red accents and the rainbow, of course. It sold for $20. Now this is something I've had for sale for quite a while, and I know that because I actually picked this up a couple years ago when I went to go visit my parents in Florida. I flew down there and I flew Southwest, which, you know, you can bring 2 suitcases for no charge, and I had one suitcase with me. I did some shopping while I was down there. I picked up this suitcase, I picked up a bunch of other treasures to take home with me, and so I packed a bunch of them into this suitcase and used this as my second bag. So I've had it kind of a while. I picked it up at a thrift store. And this is a vintage sewing pattern to make like a teen girl sized skating costume, or it could also be a cheerleader costume. And this sold for $6. I picked this up, I think, at a thrift store. This is a vintage coloring book that's designed for adults. The theme is fashion of the 40s. It sold for $7, and the coloring book is not from the 40s. It's from, I want to say, the 1980s, maybe early 1990s. And I picked this up at a book sale. It's an unused coloring book. And I sold a brag book this week. This is a Winnie the Pooh one. It sold for $6. This is Grandma's Show and Tell brag book. And I think I picked this up at a thrift store. I think the thrift store outlet, if I'm not mistaken. And I sold this pretty rad vintage wallet for $8. It's a cool, like, 1980s type style wallet with like the vinyl there, shiny silver and copper. And what's interesting is that I sold this to someone I sort of know online, and you probably know her too. I know her from YouTube, and she makes some great videos. I'm not going to call her out by name in case she wants to be anonymous, but I know she watches these videos a lot, so if she feels like outing herself in the comments, she's more than welcome to. I sold this vintage mini plaque. It's a really tiny plaque. Sold for $7, has a cute mouse with a heart-shaped strawberry there. Paula Cutes was the artist on this plaque, and I think it's from the 1970s, maybe early 1980s. And the last item I sold this week was this mini, very small vintage Christmas tree. It's all plastic, not like made of a nylon, but just like all plastic, and it sold for $10. It had some wear to it. A few of the branches were actually broken off, and some of them I think were repaired after they were broken off. I picked this up in a box lot at an auction not too long ago, actually. Now, I do put out these videos every week. I know there are some new subscribers, so I just will point out that the price that you see is the selling price of the item. It does not include the fees that I paid to Etsy. It also doesn't include any shipping fees that the buyer would have paid to have the item shipped to them. So that's just the list price on Etsy for each item. I do also put out some other videos, when I can, about selling online I do have another haul video to upload, and I do have more haul follow-up videos to actually make and upload, so I'll try to get those done soon for you. Thank you, as always, for watching, and if you like this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, or leave a comment below. And I'll see you guys again soon. Happy selling, everyone!